Hey guys, it's Sophia with Kamikaze Kiwi, and let's take 5 today to talk about How I Met Your Mother. Now, How I Met Your Mother is one of the very few TV series that I've actually completed that isn't a Netflix series. I've seen it all the way through, and while I really do like it, I was always kind of confused by the way that they handle the idea of like crazy women. Now, it could be purposefully done to show like the utter and complete BS that is Ted Mosby, and how there's like the societal norm that women are crazy. The series often calls them like manic, emotional, jealous. They condemn them for being suspicious and needy. And yet the main character is painted like this romantic hero. He kind of is weird though. Like, he basically stalks people. He does these huge romantic gestures that are kind of unwanted. He does a bunch of emotional outbursts. Like, he is definitely creepy and needy and whiny and oftentimes annoying, and no one really says anything about it except for like Marshall occasionally, and even then they do nothing to like take care of his manic behavior. And I was kind of confused by this at first, but I don't really think that it's the film as much as it's like the trope that women are crazy or have crazy eyes, or that societal norm that is women being crazy. And I think I have the answer. And the answer is vibrators. Let me explain. You see, I'm not joking at all. The vibrator isn't used, or wasn't used rather, for what it is today, which is y'all's business. But an American physician made a steam-powered one. His name was George Taylor. That was in 1869. And then a different Dr. Joseph Mortimer Granville, sorry, invented a electromechanical one in the late 1800s. Now, originally, what these were used for is that doctors believed that female ailments were 100% because of her uterus. Basically, men didn't have these ailments because they don't have a uterus. So anytime a woman was anxious, if she was nervous, if she was too randy too often, if she wasn't randy enough, if she was manic, emotional, ill-behaved, they said that she was inflicted with hysteria, which basically means that she is hysterical. Now, we still have the word hysterical. We no longer have the ailment hysteria. Basically, what they thought was the way to fix it was for a doctor to give you a pelvic massage, which was manually going in there and releasing tension through what would be very crassly called a female orgasm. It was not romantic, it wasn't sexy, it was really medical, really mechanical, really uncomfortable. And so they created vibrators because doctors were getting carpal tunnel. Like, that's like legit a reason. Now, this idea of hysteria and women being crazy goes all the way back to like Greece and ancient Greek. There are ideas floating around about it in Egyptian times, but mostly you have it from Greek. And basically they invented the idea of bitches be cray, and they ran with it. And they didn't do a whole lot of medical research. Women were thought to be boring, and thusly they didn't need as much medical attention, because if you are not very complicated, then your medical situation isn't very complicated. That kind of idea was prevalent for a little while. Now, before you get up in arms and think that this is like some sort of like weird feminist cause that I'm ranting about, I don't think that's true. I want to present the idea that maybe one of the reasons why we think women are crazy are actually because we have this idea that men have to not be emotional. We have this perceived notion that men have to be very contained in what they do in their emotions. And I think maybe that's because the man who later became a congressman, Daniel Sickles, actually invented the idea of getting away with murder for temporary insanity, because he killed a man in broad daylight in front of the White House for sleeping with his wife. And his defense was that he loved too much. So I'm not really sure if it's like the villainizing of men's emotions that will create murder, or the idea that women are in fact crazy all the time, and the only reason how they're not crazy is with a vibrator, which is gross and weird. I don't know if that's why, like, we have this idea now that women are in fact crazy, and why we have tropes like this in films, and why How I Met Your Mother, which is an otherwise pretty dang good series, has kind of a blemish on it. Oh, time's up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Over here, you're going to see today I'm wearing a necklace of mine, which is the cake in a jar. It's going to be right here. And then another video that you can link to right here. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you again next Friday. Have a great weekend.